Jan, there we go.
Uh, I don't think we have any sticky items from the last meeting. Looks clear. So I'm just going to jump straight into Jan's point, who doesn't have a voice at the minute. uh, Jan's point is with Kevin and James joining us. Would it be a good idea to discuss issues that need UX input and/or our future UX direction? Although I have no idea what you mean by that, Jan.
So I can quickly add to our future UX direction. I think it's just stuff like the dashboard working group, what we intend to do with like the visualization designer, having the shared dashboard for all the groups, and also anything that like we may end up like future additions, like settings, cascading settings if we're going that route, etc. So just basically giving like a high level overview and then opening it up to questions. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of ties into Sam's point as part of like the future of this meeting and whether it makes sense to then just have this as like handoff material, right? So I would say that makes sense in terms of what we've been thinking so far.
If we don't have all those topics listed somewhere, I think that'd be good to list out here explicitly to maybe discuss in the future. Not sure if James and Kevin, I don't want to speak for you, but you've been here less than a month, so not sure if you've had time to ramp up to have answers to directions for all those topics.
Probably not yet, at least not with 100% confidence.
So by the sounds of it, maybe an action item for the next meeting could be for us to have a list of those things, to give an overview or to put it down on an issue that we can discuss. And then depending on how that discussion goes and how many questions or ongoing discussions there is, we can see like if it still makes sense to have this meeting going forward, like in a group setting.
For context for Kevin and James, this meeting came about because me and Jan have been temporary UX people for the group, as we had no one, and we had mild knowledge of how these things work. But normally, as far as I'm aware, Sam can correct me on this, is in previous groups, the PM and product designer have often just had private one-to-one conversations rather than a more group-wide setting. It's just because there were so many of us trying to figure out what the hell we were doing. We thought we would have a weekly meeting to try and figure this stuff out.
Yeah, exactly. So we definitely don't need to feel obligated to keep having this meeting just for the sake of having a meeting. Now that you both are on board, I will likely stop attending this unless you all specifically request me to keep attending it, and would defer to you two if you want to keep doing something scheduled publicly like this. If you want to do weekly one-on-ones, whatever, I would say it's your two's meeting to make the decision on.
Cool. I would say let's leave the call for next week, just to talk through the list of ongoing discussion items. That'll be a good way to kind of synchronously catch up on that and answer any open question. And after that, Kevin and I can take this to a one-on-one.
Cool. Looks like we've got an action item for that. Then we'll open a discussion and general discussion for the product analytics group as like a UX handoff issue, and then we'll go from there and we can check it out next week. Then, sorry, Jan.
No, I was just adding my vocal approval.
And I was just going to ask, Kevin hasn't said a word about this. Are you all right with this, Kevin? What do you think?
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I mean, in terms of meeting as well, obviously, I guess we're gonna have to chat with James on that because we haven't had a chance to sync yet. But just my mind went through what we used to do in growth, which is gonna have a roadmap meeting where UX and PM meet, and then it's open to everyone to join if you want to, but not required.
Yeah, that actually sounds great. So that if there is a topic to discuss, it would be great to sometimes jump on or just be privy to what's being discussed. But otherwise, I feel like, you know, my input would be minimal going forward.
All right. Well, Kevin, let's work that out. We have a coffee chat tomorrow. I think we can decide if we want to leave this meeting and take over ownership, which the group is used to meeting at this time anyway. So if anybody wants to jump in, they can. Or if we want to change it up for better coverage for us.
That's good.
Cool. In that case, everyone gets 22 minutes back. Cool. Enjoy the rest of your days. Or
Right,
the rest of your
everybody.
day. Ciao.
Take care.